Hello. I was gonna do I was gonna make I was trying to find a website where you could just live stream. Just upload. I was just trying to upload video and live stream it, but it doesn't look like I can do that. So, um, yeah, I've been watching a lot of live Japan TV streams lately. Now, what I thought I'd do is I'll just do the history of Tokusatsu. So it's kind of like a documentary, but live. Right. Okay. So the 1950s, there was a show called Gakko Carmen, and it was about a masked hero, and no one knew his identity, including the viewers. Now that continued. That was on from 1958 to 1959, and there were some early complaints about violence, but it well, it got so it I think it don't think it made much of an impact. And then the 60s, 1966, Ultra Q began, and they it was about initially it was a show much like the Twilight Zone or Doctor Who. They at some point they added a guy called Ultraman as an afterthought, but that then they decided let's just make a show all about Ultraman. So then they made the Ultraman franchise. And then 1971, there was a show about a cyborg. Someone was kidnapped and turned into a cyborg, but he escaped before the brainwashing. And it was called Kamen Rider. And then there were more shows. Next few series, same thing. Except for Amazon. Amazon wasn't a cyborg that was kidnapped by an organisation. He was just a wild creature. Then Kamen Rider had a break for a few years. But by then, 1975, there was Super Sentai, or Super Squadron in English. The Black Cross Army killed. The Black Cross Army had this evil organisation, and there was this organisation built called Eagle to stop them. But then the Black Cross Army kill everyone in Eagle except for 5 members. Those 5 members discover that there's a secret base at Snackdom, and they become the Go Rangers. Then that was followed by Jackie. Then there was a year. Then there was a year when Sentai wasn't on, and then instead in 1978 they showed Japanese Spider-Man, which is quite good. I saw it on the Marvel website in 2009, and then in 1979 Sentai returned, and it's been going ever since. Battle Fever J saw like the 1970s. Right. In 1979 or 80, the dates are confusing, Well, conflicting dates. Kamen Rider returned with Sky Rider. And then there was another show called Super One afterwards, but then Kamen Rider was off air again. Well, obviously this wouldn't do. So in 1982, Toei created the Metal Hero franchise. This started with the three space sheriffs, Gavan, Sharivan, and Shider. They fought enemies in this alternate space. And then 1985, there was Just Beyond, which was a slightly comedic show. Then 1986, there was Spielban, which is well remembered and liked. Then 1987, there was the good but unpopular Metalder. And then 1988, Jiraiya, and 1989, Jiban. Meanwhile, in Sentai Land, it was conquering all. There was Tenjiman, Doddle 5, Bioman. These kinds of shows started to be shown abroad in countries such as South Korea, the Philippines, and France, South America. Quite a lot of the world. And then there was many great Sentai like Masked Man and Live Man. So that's how the 1980s were. And then in 1987 or 88, Kamen Rider Black aired. And this was a great success, but not enough of a success to keep going. It had one sequel, Kamen Rider Black RX, but then it went off air again. So then in the 1990s, Metal Hero franchise continued. The Special Rescue series, Wind Spectre, Soulbrain, and XC Draft. Then there was Jan Person, a non-human. Then there was Blue SWAT. Then there was two B-Fighter shows, and then after that, it went downhill and was axed. As for Sentai, the 90s were a mixed bag. There were many great Sentai such as Jetman and Ranger, but then O-Ranger nearly killed the show, and then Car Ranger came and saved it. And this led on to Sentai such as Mega Ranger and Ginga Man. Finally, in the noughties, Kamen Rider returned with Kamen Rider Cougar, and it's been going ever since. That led on to Ajito and Ryuki, Fives, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Deno, Kiva, Decade. But Decade was slightly disappointing, as it was set up to be an anniversary show, but no attempt was made to get back original actors. It was under false pretenses. Then Kamen Rider Double began in moving September to a September. Then Kamen Rider Double began, moving Kamen Rider to a September slot. Meanwhile, with Sentai, there were many great Sentai such as Time Ranger, Deca Ranger, Bokanger, Geki Ranger, and Shinkenger. As for Power Rangers, I didn't talk about Power Rangers, did I? Okay, I won't talk about Power Rangers. In the 2010s, Kamen Rider Double finished. Then this led on to O's, a very good show. Kamen Rider O's kind of woke up Kamen Rider, and it gave the viewers a story that was intriguing, and it kept going every week. So that was good. And then there was Forze and Wizard, which were a bit bland. Then there was Kamen Rider Dime, which was very good. And then there was Kamen Rider, and now there's Kamen Rider Drive, which is again a bit bland, but it's nearly over now. Meanwhile, in Sentai, Go Seiza nudged Sentai whimpering into the tens. But then Go Kaiju really shook things up. Go Kaiju was the 35th anniversary Sentai about turning into old teams. Most of it was on the same, okay, with much of the series on the same year as Kamen Rider O's. It was extremely it saw the return of previous actors, and it was amazing. And there was Go Busters, which was a bit of a flop, but not that bad. And then Kyoryuger, which was more popular but a bit bland again. Then there was Tokyuger, quite a good show. Then there was Ninja. Now there's Ninja, which has got the first male yellow in 10 years. Tokusatsu continues to this day. It wakes up Japan. It's had its little outings in other countries, with shows such as Ryukendo being shown in Brazil, and it's extremely interesting. Soon it'll be 40 years of Sentai. Let's see what Sentai does for it.